Twice this week, the U.S. ambassador to Canada has been telling Canadians about his great disappointment. He has said, Pete Hoekstra has said twice that the United States had hoped for a bigger deal with Canada than just the CUSMA, than just the USMCA. He said they had hoped for a deal that encompassed critical minerals, steel, energy, nuclear, but it wasn't possible. So he said this to two audiences this week. What's your side of the story?
That bigger deal that's in the interest not just of the United States, but in the interest of the Canadian people is not on the table. But it's still possible. What is the fact is that Canada and Mexico have the best actual trading relationship, trading agreements with the United States. First point. Second point is that a process is just beginning with reviews in each of our country, consultations in each of our country, of how that relationship can be improved. And while those consultations are going on, of course, we're having bilateral discussions with the United States, so you may see improvements along the way. We have the ambition, but a deal is a deal, and a deal has to go for both sides, and Canada will agree a deal that's in the best interest of Canadians. It should not surprise anyone, including the U.S. ambassador, who's doing a very good job, I would add. Thank you. For America.
Let's rewind for context. Hoekstra had complained publicly that Canadians lack passion for the U.S.-Canada relationship. He admitted the business community still cares, but ordinary Canadians, not so much. He called it disappointing.
The thing that was probably the most unexpected, and we're going to get right into the meat of the stuff that we want to talk about today, okay? I'm disappointed that I came to Canada, a Canada that it is very, very difficult to find Canadians who are passionate about the American-Canadian relationship, okay? You ran a campaign where, it was anti-American, elbows up, me too, it was an anti-American campaign. That has continued. That's disappointing. I talked to a lot of business people. They are passionate about the relationship because they recognize rebuilding ecosystems and rebuilding the kind of economic relationships that we have. As some people talk about, we'll go other places. It's kind of like, that's hard. Plus, this one works pretty well. We've created a lot of prosperity and wealth, high quality, high paying jobs by working together on both sides of the border. Like I said, I'm passionate for it. The business community is passionate for it, but they're not very public about it.
As we broke down yesterday, this isn't some mystery. Canadians aren't cold because of neglect. They're cold because Washington burned the relationship. Trump waged a trade war against Canada, called our Prime Minister a governor, and treated Canada's sovereignty as expendable. Trust was broken, respect was destroyed. So when Hoekstra whined about disappointment, it was nothing more than projection. America blaming Canada for the fallout of its own actions. Now comes Carney's answer. Asked about Hoekstra's words, he didn't dodge. He made three things clear. The kind of bigger deal Hoekstra hinted at isn't even on the table, and won't be unless it serves Canadian interests. Canada already has a practical, functioning trade framework. We're not chasing grand bargains for show. Canada will only sign on to agreements that protect Canadian workers, sovereignty, and industries. This wasn't bluster. It was strategy. Carney didn't need to raise his voice. He simply reminded everyone, Canada negotiates on its terms.